We'll let you go with an opening statement, and then we'll get Brian Bailey with 3 questions after that, okay?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I cannot hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, Coach. Can you hear us now? You want to
I
text
can't
me?
hear anything you're saying.
So they're on mute.
Hang on.
He's on mute.
Okay, I got it.
Coach, can you hear us now?
Yep, I got you.
Okay, we'll have you do an opening statement, and then we'll have Brian Bailey ask you 3 questions before everybody else jumps on, okay?
Okay. Obviously very disappointed in the outcome of the game. It's not what we came up here to do. Cincinnati's a very good football team. I think they're easily the best team we've played all year. We made some mistakes that you can't make against a good team if you might have a shot. Certainly we were aggressive with some things and tried to come in to play the game in order to win it. Very disappointed in the outcome though. And let me say this. My players, I still believe in them completely. And they're young and they did a lot of good things tonight. We just made too many mistakes against that team. It's my job to get it fixed. That's why I was brought here. And that's what we're going to work to do.
Okay, Brian.
All right, Coach, when you look at that, you get the fumble recovery early on, and then the first play of the second quarter, the pick six. How devastating was that to the call?
Well, hopefully the breaks are going to start bouncing our way here eventually. But, like I said, you can't make that mistake there, especially that deep in your own territory. I thought we had the fumble on the first drive. Obviously, that one got overturned, but our group did a good job of going back and forcing another turnover. But we just, that's the mistakes I'm talking about that you can't make, not against a team like this.
On the positive side of coming out party for Keaton Mitchell.
Now, Keaton's a very talented player. Just like we talked about, with Rajay a couple of weeks ago, we really like those guys as a 1-2 punch of the future. And obviously he did some really good things tonight.
We all saw the fake punt, the 75-yard run late. You had a long talk with Coach Fickle afterwards. What was that like?
That's between us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
We'll open it up to questions now for everybody else.
Coach, any word on Rashad early on and how serious his injury might be?
We don't think it's extremely serious. Don't know his status for next week, though.
And what, with their pass defense, obviously one of the better secondaries in the country, just what did you notice maybe that they did on the back end differently at all? Was it mainly just a lot of tight coverage? What could you see?
Well, I thought one, they're extremely athletic. They're very long. Have great speed in the secondary. They did a good job in coverage. And their front four generates a lot of pressure without having to bring too much extra. They did a good job with, even though sitting at a 3 down and bringing a 4th or a 5th guy, and Holton not having a tremendous amount of time to throw right there. So we did some good things in the run game. Really need to generate some more positive plays in the pass game, though.
Coach, you had some difficulty trying to just keep them out of the backfield a little bit. You're playing with a depleted offensive line at the moment. Talk about what that's doing right now to make things more difficult for Holton to be able to just get the football off.
Well, we got to be able to protect him better. That's obvious to everybody. And I think we got some guys that are competing very hard. We got to continue to be creative with our protections. It's one of those things where everybody this time of the year you're having to shuffle some people around. So we'll get back to work tomorrow and do what we can to come up with a great game plan for next week.
With the interceptions with Ehlers and just how much do you think, especially the early pick six, obviously, but how much do you think that maybe threw off his game, maybe shook him at all, or threw off what y'all want to do game plan wise?
Yeah, the first one, I did think he knew what was there, and just he tried to look it off a little bit, and he missed a dropper, and the guy stepped right in front of it. The second one, he forced it, plain and simple. The last one, he's just got to, with the coverage where it was, he just got to put it deeper into the end zone there on the corner route for Snead. If the coverage is over the top, then you can throw it that flat. But with the corner sitting right there, you got to throw it towards the back pylon.
Coach, Desmond Ritter, you had him in some favorable down and distance situations, but his playmaking ability seems pretty special.
He's a good player. He's most likely a NFL quarterback. He's had a great year this year, and he can beat you with his arm, and he can beat you with his feet. And when you got a guy like that, that's pretty special. Obviously, he's what makes them go.
I don't want to get back into the post-game part with you and Luke, but just when they ran the fake punt in real time, what did you kind of think at that point, or what did you think of that play?
Obviously, we got to do a better job of defending it. It's 42-10. We were able to force a punt in that situation. Get ready to get the ball back for our offense. Obviously, I don't think anybody was expecting that, but we still got to be prepared.
It looked like with Ritter, you had maybe some spies or at least some guys trying to watch him, and he was still able to break contain. Just how frustrating was that?
We had a spy on any of those drop situations. We had a spy that was their sole job was to, contain the quarterback scramble. And, obviously we got to look at what we were doing right there because it didn't work very well tonight.
Coach, sometimes it's hard to tell, but this team appears to be a lot better than the injuries and the results and the situation as a whole is letting you look like right now. How close is this team to getting better?
Well, we're a much better team than that score shows. It's, we made some mistakes, and you cannot make mistakes against a good football team. Injuries are what they are. Certainly, we've had some that have hurt us this year. But you're gonna have years where you have that, and that's where you gotta continue to generate depth, and you gotta continue to bring those guys along. The roster has not changed from the bunch that beat South Florida in South Florida, took Navy to the last seconds in a very close game without our starting quarterback, and then, in all intents and purposes, beat Tulsa at Tulsa. It's the same roster. They're 2 weeks older. I like the kids in this program. I like their attitudes. I like the way they work. Is there still some things we got to continue to bring along culture-wise? Yes, but our culture is so much better than it was a year ago. And it's going to continue to improve. And, yeah, we're facing 22 and 23-year-old guys tonight. But there will be a day when these kids aren't 18. And I have very, very few kids that won't be on this roster next year. So it's going to continue to improve. But, as I said, when I took the job, and I said it last year, it's not going to happen overnight. We're building a solid foundation. We're going to grow them up. We're competing every week to win. But you're going to have some nights when things don't go your way. And, yeah, I'm sure that there are people who are going to just jump off the boat and they're going to give up on us. But, our loyal fans aren't. And I promise you the players aren't. And I promise you the coaches aren't. We came here with a goal to build a program that's going to compete for a conference championship in the American Athletic Conference. And I think you can do that, East Carolina. It doesn't feel like it tonight, but, I've been in this situation before, been in this exact situation as an assistant and saw it turn. And, we're not going to compromise what we're doing as far as competing every day, as far as trying to do things right, as far as building this program to be something that we can all be proud of. I don't enjoy nights like tonight, and I'm not going to forget tonight. But there'll be a day when it's not like tonight.
Okay, we got time for one more question for Coach Houston this evening.
Hey, Mike, obviously you guys moved the ball quite well last year against these guys. Is there anything this defense does this year that's different, that's better than what you saw before or what you were expecting?
Well, I told Luke pre-game, I think they run much better than they did a year ago. I think they're better up front. I think they're a year older and more experienced. And you used to look, the juniors and seniors, and then the one sophomore corner who I think is pretty special. And he may be the best corner in this league, if not one of the best at least. But I just think it's a combination of, it is a difficult scheme, but they have speed and size at every level. Your corners are 6'3" with great length and great speed. Your linebackers are big kids that can run. They've done a great job, over the last 4 years building this roster. And, he's got a shot. It's a very talented group, and they play very, very well together.
Coach Houston, thank you for your time. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.